Good day everybody, welcome to Contest of Speed, EU1 on a Thursday. It's round 3 at Brazil, Interlagos in Sao Paulo. And as we can see, the Ferrari of Jimenez just put himself on pole. Apologies for the late start. A few technical difficulties with the current COSCOMS account, and unfortunately we had a few dropouts and no-shows, which is not ideal. So grid is down to 11. However, we will still bring you the action, and these guys will probably also give you the action through the 36 laps that will follow after this short qualifying. I've heard rain is in the area this evening, so it could be a very interesting race then, if that is the case. With such a small grid, it's a great chance and opportunity for drivers to make up places in the standings, considering the Fizz is not here this evening, our championship leader that's won the first 2 races of the season is not here to make it 3 from 3, so it will mean we'll have a new race winner for season 17 here in EU1. As has finished his lap, will go on board with Rye, who's actually made it this evening, so well done to him. We weren't sure he was going to be here. He's about to finish his first lap of the session in the other Mercedes. There's 2 Mercedes this evening, and he does a 108.6, so we're going to see a lot of guys sneak into the 107s. We've seen PW Jones and him do that already. Cornish Kush, who has been up there at the start of the season, is done a 108.0 as a banker, so that's pretty good going. Mr. Dr. One Steel, that is Stelcho for those that wonder who he is. Stelcho has changed his name. He's in the Red Bull, but it's still the same driver you've seen in the first couple of rounds. PW Jones is on an out lap. I can see if yeah, I'm going to go on board with him actually. PW Jones. On his out lap in the Williams. Been on the podium 2 races from 2 so far. Last week in Silverstone and around as he heads down into turn 1 with center S's. Watch the inside of the curve there. It does like to try and spin. Very tricky, I think, the S's, because of the traction zones are going to hug very tight as we exit the RS Open for the first time. And we're going to swing it into turn 4. Run as far wide as we can through 5 and 5, and then we've got the double right hand here, 6, 7. Slight shift down, fed the ring, the throttle to keep the speed up and not lose the rear end of the car. Through 7, very patient through sector 2 here, where it's quite technical. Waiting for put the power down, the throttle, big kick of oversteer, then through the exit turn 10 for 11 and 12. Yeah, 10th and a half down already, and is on the overtake. All the way to the line. Oh, he's going to come in. I did think he'll come in. Especially on that one, it looked a little bit scrappy. Aaron is also that how it's done. Context is finished. Cornish Kush. Here we go then. It's going to come. Selcho is Dr. One Steel. Rob. So the one in the Red Bull. Conscious purple through the middle sector then. DRS to the line. This is going to put him into the 107s, you would think. And it does. Oh, I thought it was going to. Right. Flat still. Let's see what his partner in crime can do. Rosa has backed out of his lap. So we'll go on board with Lewis. Lewis is going to complete his first lap of the session. And Lewis does a 1:08.5. Let's see then what Stelcho can do. This is Stelcho on board. Trying to keep the back end of that Red Bull nice and stable. Well, these guys have dropped the rear wing and cranked a little bit more on the front wing in terms of the downforce. Stelcho trying to keep it nice and tidy. This last corner is so important to try and get a good clean exit, because even though these little left-handers are corners, apparently it is flat out all the way to the line, and Stelcho will try and take the shortest run possible and does a 21.0. Joins Kush on that landmark. Aaron has got a 10th quicker through the first sector. Aaron has gone purple through the middle sector as well. Going to get a lovely tow here from his teammate. That's him. It's about to start possibly a lap of his own. The two Ferraris working in tandem. It's a 27.7 for Aaron. Superb stuff. What can the Mantis do? The Mantis is 5 tenths up. He's currently on a 109.3, so it's going to put him into the 108s. Depending on his exit, though, out the last corner, hopefully the Mantis can sneak into the mid 108s towards where the likes of Rosa is. No, lost a bit of time, I think, because that exit getting a bit tail happy. Meanwhile, is Himi on a lap? No. And so we'll jump over towards right. Looks to be the next one to start. Qualifying has gone pretty quick. We've only got 4 minutes and 45 seconds YD. So right then, preparing that lap really slow, focusing on the exit to try and carry as much speed. It may be a wet race start. Okay, thanks, Jones. And has so no one out on track at the moment. Raj just invalidated. Has is on the cool down lap. Everybody else in the pits. Go on board with Rosa. Rosa is the one that's at the moment out there by himself. Here we go then. Turn one. Pretty nice and tidy through there from Rosa. Currently sitting on a 108.4, so probably looking to improve hopefully by a couple of attempts and getting closer to the likes of Stelcho, perhaps his teammate. Nice and neat and tidy at the moment. A little bit deep there into turn 10, but not a massive disaster. The line has come at 3 attempts up. He's got a nice distant toe to the McLaren that's in front. That's Cornish Mantis. And Rosa will be the first one to complete then his final run of the session. Rosa does a 108.2, so did improve his time. Unfortunately, he's not improved his place as such at the moment. Dr. Steele's backed out. Mantis has started. There's a lot of traffic where Stelcho is at the moment, but Mantis has got clear area in front of him for his final run. Mantis then coming up to the second sector split, still holding that time. Ooh, a little bit, maybe too much speed into that last corner. Oh, he's trying to. He's not gone all the way close as he can, but it does improve. When he's going towards the front at the moment, they're all kind of following each other. He will be the first of the top for Cornish Mantis. Cornish Kush has done a 107.7. Hemi has gone purple, sector 2. So hold on, everybody, because this is going to get pretty tight towards the top. Hemi to the line and does 107.8, 107.5 even. Can P.W. Jones respond? He got a tow from his teammate, and not quite for Jones. Haz is getting a tow from Rye, who's had an invalidation. Haz does a 108.4, so puts himself ahead of Rye, and that will conclude qualifying. So Hemi on pole, P.W. Jones, Cornish Kush, Aaron, Steele, Lewis, Rosa, Haz, Rye, Cornish Mantis and Pipe Tech. Oh dear, it's a full wet race, I heard, which is not good sign. I think people were hoping that it was going to dry up at some point towards the end of the race. It's incredibly wet. I think if the guys have not pressed the button to go, you can do now. It's been well over a minute, so you're more than welcome to. So let's see then who had a full dry setup and those that had wet setups. Here we go then, people. 3, 4, 5 lights. It's round 3 and we're tiptoeing away. I think it's a good start from Jones. He's already got the inside line down into the first corner to Hemi. A few people are sliding about all over the place, but at the moment I don't want to say too much. I think everybody's somewhat pointing in the right direction. Full wet conditions out there, all on the wet tyre. So one thing we will not see, we won't be seeing any DRS at the moment. Stelcho heading to the inside of Cornish. That was probably taking Cornish by a little bit of surprise. That's not carbon fibre, that's just where the floor is scraping along. Cornish just lost another place to Lewis. So no drama through turn 1. The field will follow through as we go into sector 2. And there is a yellow flag because Himi has made a mistake. I look down for 2 seconds just to make sure everything's okay. And yeah, Himi's down into has ahead of Rosa and Rise, trying to make a move down the inside of the Racing Bull. Is that front wing damage on the Mercedes on the right hand side? I'm not too sure. I think it is. It is. There's front wing damage on the inside of Rye. Stelcho getting ahead of Aaron. Losing the back end all over the place. PW Jones has escaped for the time being. So position change. Himi is the biggest loser. Cornish Cush also losing 2 places. I'm going to call him Dr. Steele. That sounds cool. Dr. Steele up into 3 positions. Lewis up a couple of places as well. Other than that, not really anything has changed. And PW Jones has been reined back in a little bit through the middle sector of the lap. The Steel Doctor. The Steel Doctor has got the fastest lap. Has? What you tell me? Has and Rosa are in the same party together, so hopefully they'll clear each other out. Oh, that's Rosa with the switchback though. Trying to go round the outside. It looks cool. And keeps that position for the time being, although Rosa has got a better drive through turn 4. And meanwhile, whilst we're watching that, it's getting very close up front. PW Jones seems to be in a spot of bottom because Stelcho's going to go around the outside though, but got onto grass. He's lost a couple of places because of it. And now it's Aaron that's still going to go ahead, but Stelcho's going to go down the inside through June South. They touch wheels. Side by side again through the last corner. That looks like Rise off and out. But there's no VSC or safety car at the moment. Did you start intermediates? Oh no, you started on the wets. Weird. Dr. Steele, meanwhile, down the inside of Aaron. PW Jones has got that gap back out to 1.4 seconds. Rosa and has once again squabbling amongst themselves. Cornish Mantis in pursuit as he slides in the background with his chrome-looking McLaren. And these two need to stop the squabbling because everybody else is kind of escaping up the road a little bit. Meanwhile, up said road, kind of calmed down a bit. Even particularly Cornish Cush has decided to just got himself under control again after a frantic opening couple of laps. At this point, they'll all have DRS, but as it's absolutely chucking it down with rain. PW Jones under pressure from Dr. Steele. The good news for Haz is that you can't actually finish P11 this evening. Well done, Haz. It's now impossible unless you get disqualified. PW Jones either struggling or backing the pack up. I haven't decided which one he's going to do. But once again, all these four are really close together. Again, Stelcher gets on the grass and nearly careers into the side of Aaron. Lewis seemed to have done the same thing because he's dropped back quite a bit. Stelcher then and Aaron going side by side again into... Well, that's not good. Got one from Rosa actually, so it should be right. Something seems to be wrong with this account. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not working, Rob. It's been a bit temperamental, this. Right, it's all sorted. It's going to tell me to join session. But no, Cornish Custer left the session. No. Oh, and it's a safety car as well. What happened? Cornish, tell me. What on earth is going on here? Look at the state of that Ferrari. Nice to see the game hasn't glitched at all. Look at that. So they have got front wings apparently. It's one for the books, ladies and gentlemen. So safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So we have 9 cars remaining, with 3 really weird looking cars that haven't got front wings. That is the 3 or 4 at the back. Is it 4 of them? It is. Apart from Pipe Tech, that's so strange. Has anybody felt brave enough to go on a different set of tyres? Yeah, Himi has. We are green once again then for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and Lewis is already looking to make a move down the inside of Aaron. So I will leave the tyre graphic up because we've got a couple of guys that chance their arm on a set of intermediate tyres side by side as they're hooking onto each other around turn 3. And Aaron's just about keeping ahead of Lewis then. The rain's still coming down here in Sao Paulo. I wouldn't say it's quite ready for intermediates. This is where PW Jones has looked perhaps his most vulnerable, is this particular section of the track from turn 6 all the way down to turn 10. Stelch just kept it off the grass this time around to now stay closer back end and kicking out through 11. Jinsao is about to approach through us turn 12, and it gets the closest that he's been, and all of a sudden PW Jones could be under a little bit of pressure. For the first time, PW Jones in fact runs wide ahead of Stelcher. Stelcher closing in, but stays behind, nearly touches the white line on the entry there of turn 1. Still nose to tail. Hemi's doing okay on those set of intermediates. He's got ahead of Mantis. Stelcher, they're pushing PW Jones through that corner, going to the outside to try and hang it round, but I don't think that's going to quite work. Aaron nearly taking the inside of that. He's looking down the inside again of the Red Bull, but nothing doing so far. Stelcher taking that wide line through 10. We've seen him do that a few times already this race, especially trying to touch the grass on the outside there. Takes a lot tighter line through the last corner, and again PW Jones trying to put the power down into overtake both of them to try and go past that Williams back end, kicking out through what isn't really a corner, but it's acting like one in these conditions. Aaron's gone to find some a little bit more standing water. Stelcher again pushing PW Jones through the centre S's. Williams looking good in a straight line, not looking good everywhere else. You can see Himi closing in with that very booky looking Ferrari. He's just pushing PW Jones around the track at the moment. Down the inside possibly of Jinsao, there we go. Put his nose in, Jones giving a space, but he's run deep, so it's going to compromise his exit with the Ferrari of Aaron as well. Stelcher's taking the lead. I think Lewis is trying to get involved as well. We haven't got a safety car, we'll keep rocking on. I don't know why it's still up there. Stelcher's looking to defend. PW Jones thought about it, not quite. Aaron's also thought about it. Both hit each other on the way through. Pipetech's retired from the session. Down to 8. 24 laps remaining. Loads of time. It would just be nice if it just unbugged itself. Stelcho has evaporated. PW Jones looks to be the one that's being the cork in the bottle compared to everybody else, which is not what I'd normally be saying about Jones. I think that we're seeing the gamble you take of running a pure ultra, just all out dry setup, not accommodating for the weather. Hopefully the rain intensity will ease in the coming laps, so he can get onto a set of intermediates. Rosen meanwhile down the inside without his front wing on Cornish Mantis. Nobody has fallen off the train as of yet. Has is still joining us at the back there. And Himi doing well on the set of intermediates, so we've got to keep an eye on the likes of Himi and Rosa and Has. They all pitted under that safety car that was brought out by Cornish Kush. Unfortunately, we got disconnected from the session at that time, so we didn't see what actually happened to Cornish Kush. What it does mean for definite this evening, we will see not just a new race winner, we will also see 2 new podiums place sitters. PW Jones dropping away from Stelcho. Stelcho in the groove at the moment. Dry line is forming round the track. Go on board with Jones. The intensity is slightly wearing off a little bit. We'll see how then Himi does in the next couple of laps then, if the rain is looking to ease off. Still stuck behind Jones. This is the part of the track where you can tell he just struggles more than everybody else, just because of how much time he loses to Stelcho as well. Has and Mantis are scrapping it out for what is currently P7. Just about hanging on to everybody else. Points on the cards, boys. That's what we've got to be thinking here. Aaron, meanwhile, and Lewis. Oh, and Lewis hits the back of Aaron. Can Lewis get a better drive than the Ferrari? Still stuck behind. Gap to lead is now growing out towards that 4-second mark. We're going to see it probably grow a lot more here through this middle sector. As the field now just starts to begin to spread out behind, just a little bit. and the back end of the Ferrari. Oh, and Lewis picked up front wing damage because the back end of the Ferrari stepped out, and Aaron had to use the brakes to try and control the slide. And Lewis is going to go to the outside then of Aaron. Aaron gives him the squeeze. He's going to go past him. He's going to have to do it, go down the inside into turn 1. Or be slightly smarter and use it down here under pressure. He's now joined this battle. They've dropped off to the back of Jones. 2 seconds now is that gap. Lewis is now going to struggle through this next bit of the circuit. Even though it is wet conditions and they don't have to use both sets of tyre compounds in terms of the dry ones, I will be expecting people to be pitting at some point during this race as we enter near the halfway phase of it so far. Aaron sort himself out and try and close on to the back of P.W. Jones. And that is Stelcho into the pits. That's our leader. He's gone into the intermediates. Oh, Cornish just picked up 10 seconds speed in the pit lane. I believe that's going to be a set of intermediate tyres as well for McLaren. So now Jones leads the way in front of Lewis, who is being pressured by him on those intermediates. He's the one that pitted on the intermediates under the safety car. Stayed out. And no, he hasn't lost his front wing, it's just glitched. For those that are tuning in for the first time. Got a few glitched drivers out there at the moment. It has Rosra and Himi. Will P.W. Jones respond to the fact Stelcho has come in? P.W. Jones does respond to the fact that Stelcho has come in. Anybody going to speed in the pit lane? Then Himi takes the lead on the set of intermediates. And I'll tell you what, at this stage of the race, he's going to be handsomely ahead of everybody else. Has is staying out. Let's see how close the likes of Cornish Mantis will be once everybody else comes out the pits. I think he's going to be ahead of Lewis here. Lewis, did he change that front wing? He did, by the looks of things. That's why he's dropped down to P7 for the time being. Mantis comes out and sits just before. I don't know. The fact that this, for some reason this evening, it's been a pain either way, Rob, it's just weird. So Himi stayed out. He's already on the intermediates. Has stayed out. He is on the wet tyres. We will see then how quickly the intermediates are compared to the wets. Has now come in and possibly a lap too late. He's going to fire out his way, probably where the likes of Lewis and Mantis are. Stelcho's miles ahead of P.W. Jones. 8 seconds. It was 2 seconds or Sorry, it wasn't 2 seconds. It's a bit more than that when they come in. But it is slightly concerning that guys are already trying to find the wet part of the track to cool those intermediates down. Has pitted and come out ahead of Lewis, ahead of Mantis. 2.5 seconds behind Rosa, who is kind of the battle between PW Jones and Aaron. So, 2 questions are, will the intermediates make it to the end? Quite possibly. Next question is Himi going to be coming in to make a stop at any point in time? I think the answer will be yes. And has defending them from Lewis. Lewis gone to the outside again. We saw him try and make this move on Aaron. Every time he kept on going to the outside. You do think he needs to every now and then go to the inside to mix that up. Rosa is dropping off the back of guys ahead of him into the clutches of this trio. So at the moment, everybody holding station. Here he leads by 4.5 seconds. PW Jones just simply has not got the pace to compare to Stelcho. I think that is down to a little bit down to the setup. It'll be Jones and Aaron in for the final podium place. Stelcho eating into Himi's lead. That was 8 tenths on that lap, taken out quite easily. Oh, bit of a twitch for Haz on out of the last corner. Lost the position to Lewis for the time being, though. I don't think it will be for very long. Lewis will look to try and put the hammer down and see if he can drag himself and the 2 behind him towards Rosa. That gap between Rosa and Aaron's opened up to about 6 seconds. Stelcho being mighty through the middle sector again. That gap's down to 3 seconds, or just hovering around 3 seconds to himself and Himi. It's just a matter of time for that Red Bull jumps ahead of that Ferrari. So far, so good on the penalty front in terms of track limits. Panthers has got one for 10 seconds speeding into the pit lane, but in terms of track limit penalties, none so far. We will know there's plenty of time to come. Himi has pitted 14 laps, which is interesting, which suggests to me these guys are going to be very tight on time towards the end of the race. %60 towards the end. Thanks, Rob, for that inside information. So Rob thinks these guys are going to make it. That should be interesting. So really, we've got the battle for P2. It's going to be between Jones and Aaron, because I think Stelcho's got this one covered at the moment. And then we're looking anywhere down from Lewis down to Mantis, really. Who's going to be squabbling over that? Let's go. Let's look at somebody else. Go look at Himi again, because I think Himi's going to be the one that's closer to Rosa here, on the freshest tyres of everybody else after just making his stop. Probably look to try and get himself towards Aaron if possible. So Hemi 3 seconds behind then Lewis. He's got past Rosa. And Rosa has, and Cornish can continue their fight again, as we saw earlier on in the race. And other than that, nothing really is massively happening at the moment, which is kind of expected. Oh, meanwhile, Mantis is trying to capitalise and has making a slight error there, going around the outside of turn 11. And good move from the Mantis, opportunistic on Has. No, it's going to make them go super leggera. Pablo. Well, it seems to be working because Aaron's is having his one of his better races that we've seen, especially now he's moved up to EU1 as well. He is doing all right. Probably wants to try and see if he can catch up to Lewis, who's also had a bit of a lonely race. That front wing damage that he's had to replace, it's kind of really cost him really, because he would be in the battle with Jones and Aaron at this point. Meanwhile, Stelcho has raced off into the sunset. That's Dr. Steele for everybody. 11.6 seconds at the moment. Rain is continuing to look a little bit on the lighter side. I think we're going to be seeing intermediate conditions for the remaining laps of this race. And Stelcho just jumped in 19.4, which is absolutely absurd. We're going to see what Jones can do. Jones, meanwhile, has just done his personal best at 20.4. Yeah, that's still a second slower than what Stelcho is able to do at the moment. Lewis, 21.1. So just dropping off the back. Mantis is through on Rosa. That looked slightly telegraphed. But Mantis is going to have a go, see if he can try and keep up with Himi. Himi, 4.4 seconds is the gap to Lewis. Not really making the inroads we thought he would on the best tyres out there at the moment. There, your position changes, so the likes of the Mantis as such have had a really good race so far. Nearly put absolute commentator's curse on him as he slid through turn 6 there. But yeah, Himi from pole struggled in the race. few of these guys being not humbled, but slightly outclassed. Has also gone past Rosa, so I think Rosa is really not liking these conditions at the moment. Not for him. Mantis has kept the gap to the same to him. Come on, you three at the back, scrap away. Can't have 10 laps of complete and utter silence. What I can do is I can do some championship standings whilst we're having a bit of a lull in proceedings. So EU1 at the moment, the Fizz leads on 50 points. PW Jones is on 33. So as it stands, Jones will go ahead of the Fizz by 1 point heading into round 4 next week. Depending on how Himi does, if he gets another place, he will jump above Cornish Cash. He's 11 points behind at the moment. Will sit 1 point behind with his 5th place. Lewis will go ahead of Cooper, who's a reserve, but he's not racing this evening. Has will extend his gap over Rosa. I didn't want to say it. But Rosa with a few of these points will jump above Jaren and Rye and possibly Griffin. And Aaron, meanwhile, currently on 2. He's going to get a load of points from tonight. Currently sitting on 15, this will give him. So he'll jump miles up. Possibly find himself in the top 5 or 6 in the standings after 3 rounds. Plenty of action to go here in Contest of Speed. It is a 12-round championship. We're only a quarter of the way through. It will go by quick. These guys will head to Jeddah next week, which will provide a different challenge to the one that we've seen tonight. And Italy and Bahrain will round out the August action, and then we'll be back in September, 1st of September in fact, where we have Singapore, Italy, Australia, Spain, Hungary. We finish at Kota. Finished at Kota a few times in Contest of Speed. Always provides a fantastic show. Season 6 in particular, one of our COVID seasons, was a week of which will be long in the memory for those in the community. Loads of tears went to the final round in Kota to be decided. EU1, EU3 in particular at the time. And of course you can watch those on the YouTube channel, Contest of Speed. Stealth Show still asserting his dominance, putting a 19.2. I'm waiting for PW Jones to come across the line because I think it was a slightly better lap from PW Jones. Yeah, he went purple through the final sector. We are still on board then with Haz and Rosa because they're still behind Mantis, who's held the gap to himself and Himi. Himi's now dropped. Himi's not really catching up. In fact, Himi's dropped away from Lewis, which is a little bit surprising considering he was the last one to stop. Nice dark lines forming around the track, but the rain is continuing to come down, so we will not be seeing any dry running, I think, in this race whatsoever. So it's as you were. Positions have not really moved for a while. As I said, we're looking at this battle for P6 on track. Mantis at the moment needs to extend that gap. He's got a 10-second time penalty as it stands for speeding into the pit lane when he made his one and only stop so far. Looks like all these guys are going to try and hang on and get these tyres to the end. It's going to be depending whose tyres falls off the cliff the quickest. And has at the moment looks a little bit stronger of this trio. All up in that diffuser of the McLaren. As I said, Jones has finally started to match Stelcho a little bit, but it's a little bit too little too late. Aaron's dropped off the back of Jones, but Lewis kept that gap between himself and Aaron the same, and Hemi is dropping back behind Lewis, but again, Mantis not really being able to keep up with the Ferrari. Has is keeping up with Mantis and half thinks about it into turn one. Back into the McLaren, steps out, but does do better on the exit. So Has will have to wait again because he's not going to get close enough on the run down to turn four as we go down the Sina Galada. Pretty sure I said that wrong because that was the Retroposta. Sina Delago is turn 4 and 5. What can Has do then? Closing in on Mantis. He looks to the inside. We're going to have an overtake for the first time in a few laps, and has gone down the inside of Mantis, who... Ooh, contact between the two, runs into the back of the Mercedes, and it's brought Rosa back into play again. It does feel like the first time in forever. Like forever ever? Everything that's going to come by this is going to be between these three. Everybody else is now so far spread out. Something drastic is going to happen. Mantis closing in response. Is he going to set up a last lap bonanza on Has? Has will probably want to try and keep the track position on for P6 this evening. Thank you for following. It's not been the most entertaining of conclusions here in EU1. It was very good for the first opening 16, 20, 16 or so laps, and after we had the safety car that came out, and then everybody had changed onto the intermediates, we kind of just split up a little bit. The rain is finally easing off, where it's basically spitting out there at the moment by the looks of things, and it's getting a little bit brighter. We are on lap 35 or 36, and Stelcho has led the way, as he has done since he got past PW Jones, who put up a nice staunch defence early on in the race. Clearly was struggling with the drivability of that Williams, and he's going to finish comfortably, I think, ahead of Aaron here in P3. Aaron's been close, but in the last 5 laps or so, really just started to fall off the back of PW Jones. Lewis is in P6. Hemi's dropping surprisingly like a stone. He's on the freshest intermediates, but all of a sudden just not got on with them. He stayed out. He went to intermediates early when we had the safety car, while everybody else had to pit for another set of tyres because tyre wear was being a bit of an issue. Meanwhile, this battle is carrying on towards the rear end of the field. But as we keep on that, we will go on board with Stelcho, watch Stelcho have the last couple of corners. Has driven supremely well so far, even though he hasn't turned 10 at the best of times. But this will be a big boost to his points score. Maybe kickstart what could be a title run with the lack of the Fizz being here this evening. But Stelcho is your round 3 winner here in Brazil for EU1. Congratulations. PW Jones will be a little bit further behind. And we're going to see Aaron close behind him. It should stay as it is. Hemi is ahead. It's going to be still relatively close between our trio at the back that we've seen race all the way through between Haz, Cornish and Rosa. But Haz is going to hold them off and take 6th on the track. Mantis will finish behind Rosa because of that penalty, but there you go, they've all made it in the end. It was down to be a classic at the start, but it just petered out for that second bit of the race. So congratulations to Stelcho. He will take the full 25 points. PW Jones will head to the top of the standings by 1 point, so the Fizz will need to probably make his return next week. And then Aaron's picked up his first podium of the season. Lewis in 4th, him in 5th. So double points haul for Ferrari. Has in 6th. I know he'll be slightly happy with that result. Ethan in 7th. And Cornish Mantis in 8th. But more importantly, finishing and 4 points heading to McLaren. DNFs for Pipe Tech, Cornish and Rye. And that will conclude the Brazilian Grand Prix. Thank you all for watching. These guys will be back at Jeddah next week for round 4 of the championship. Same time as always, 9 PM UK time, 10 PM Central European time. And if you want to come and join us from across the pond, you can, and it'll be 4 PM Eastern for you guys. Keep an eye on the Twitch channel because this will be uploaded as soon as this finish. And the YouTube channel if you want to watch it on YouTube later on. Discord link is in the chat, or has been put in the chat at some points, you're more than welcome to join. We've still got plenty of spaces in EU1 and EU2, so you're more than welcome to come and join us on a Tuesday or a Thursday. AM1 is on in a few hours' time, so keep an eye on that, and hopefully you'll be able to see the results fairly shortly. Thank you, Rob, for putting the Discord link in. But yeah, we'll see you next week for round 4. Next European action will be on Tuesday, 9 PM for EU2. Right, have a good night, everybody.